Good evening to everyone at Descant. I wish I could be there with you tonight to celebrate the launch of your new issue and also this wonderful event. And I wanted to thank all of you at Descant for providing this venue for poets, that we have our voices heard and have this chance to have our poetry out there. Thank you. I'm going to read a poem called Thin Ice, and it's set on the Red River. I happened to grow up within a block of the Red River, and I still live within a block of the Red River, so it's been a huge influence in my life, big presence. The poem begins with a quote from the Winnipeg Free Press. Thin Ice. A mental health patient walked out of the St. Boniface General Hospital yesterday afternoon and onto the thin ice of the nearby Red River, where she fell through and was swept away to her death by the rapid current. Several stunned witnesses watched the 48-year-old woman bob in the frigid water for several minutes, then disappear as the water rescue crews arrived at the scene near the Norwood Bridge at about 1 p.m. The Winnipeg Free Press, March 28, 1998. I have been writing this poem for 10 years. Every year at this time, I return to the river at breakup, and I return to this poem, which I cannot write. Though I write and write, the poem resists the words and the water, and so the woman, a spindle, in the turbulent current drowns. Each year I write a eulogy for the drowned woman. Each year it is a different eulogy. Last year I quoted her brother, "Sadness is water running down a hill." And the year before that, my voice was a brick through a window. They say sentencing yourself to die takes a while. You don't just come at it all of a sudden. And she took the road less traveled. She walked 40 feet out onto the ice. She became neither root nor soil. When she went down, when she entered the river, she stood with every drowned woman. I won't name them. You know who they are. The ones who filled their pockets with stones, those who surfaced 3 times to sink like a rock, skirts blooming, billowing like jellyfish, the ink of their words streaking the waters. And there are those who changed their minds, if not their hearts, a windmill of arms and legs, then driftwood. We all have such a friend, thin-skinned as thin ice, grief rising with the waters of the spring runoff. Ice is water memorizing itself. I was always drowning, from the very beginning, surfacing through a memory too thin to reach. You're on thin ice, I was told from a young age by an intemperate mother. What you need is a life. You should get out more. You should get some sun, get a pet, get some sleep. You need help. And help is always already on the way. I didn't have a chance. I was always drowning. The water from which you were spilled poured into the waiting world like a bucket of fish. The water to which you return like an eroded elm. Each year there are 3, maybe 4 of us. And we all had mothers who, like pigeons, built their nests beneath the bridge, who raised their young in a nest of knitted bones, the bones of all the children they had lost. Today I write on the bridge, beneath a leaf like a moth in the rain, a fish under an eyelid of ice, beneath the rind of your lover's arm, sleep in amniotic peace. The river has a receding hairline. The trees lose their grip on the banks. The rank river breath, incessant ripple, grapple the toe, the glittering lights that also play in the water. I learned to read beneath the covers, locked in the washroom, devouring words unbridled as an earthworm making its way through clots and roots, the occasional diet of hyacinth bulbs. I wanted to become those words, and not just mouth them. My flesh was a burden to me then. We are not long for this world, and this world is not long for us. We are trained in the art of extinction. Each day another species disappears. She sinks to the bottom, then rises, buoyed by a long-term memory, the inebriated, radiant voices from a childhood. Then she was very still, resting on her elbows. An eyewitness describes her for the evening news. This time of year it is cold and clear, so clear as it gets. She shimmers, shivers, swims through the tousled branches of the inverted elms. She is thinking, always thinking. She will donate her pulse, buy a rooftop condo, step ever so lightly from the balls of her feet into the wandering sky. Swayed by the breezy words of the golden boy, she will take his arm. No, she will take the wheat from his outstretched arms and give it to the starving, no, the sinking world. Thank you.